Hello everyone, welcome back to the Chapple Show. Today we're talking about the best investments that Warren Buffett and Tony Robbins have ever made. Now I want to give you actually a few guesses as to what they are before I actually tell you what their best investments are, because that's more fun for me. So we're going to get into this here. Warren Buffett, avid investor, you guys know him. Billionaire, one of the top 3 richest people in the world over the past decade at all times. I think that Bill Gates is higher than him right now? He must be. I think Bill Gates is higher than him right now. And Carlos Slim overtook both of them, I thought, for a year or two. But and Tony Robbins here, motivational speaker. He's actually a real estate, people don't know this, he's an avid real estate investor and stock investor. He owns a big portfolio on both and actually teaches courses in both of those. So that's something to look into, by the way. Tony Robbins, he did a real estate expo in Toronto, which I didn't go to because I had, what did I have? I guess I had some sort of meeting or some sort of client meeting or something like that. This was a month or two ago. Anyways, we're going to get into this. Warren Buffett, what do you think is his best investment? Is it Coca-Cola? I always talk about that, Coca-Cola, how that's a great stock investment. He's been invested in that for many decades. Coca-Cola, or no, year. I don't know if has it been 2 decades, 3 decades? I don't even know. He started investing in the 60s, so I'm guessing he bought Coke sometime around the 80s, 90s. And he owns 10% of the company, which is pretty big. So we're going to go to, is it Coca-Cola? How about Kraft? Kraft Heinz, actually. So that makes all the food. Kraft is one of the biggest food companies in the world. Multi-billion-dollar company. How about Wells Fargo? Financial company. A lot of people have to get loans through them, I think. I'm not American, so I don't exactly know what they do, but I think that they're one of the bigger financial institutions in the United States. This is all stuff that Warren Buffett is a pretty big investor in, owning 10 to 30% of each of those. How about real estate? He actually doesn't own that much real estate, so that's not the answer. Real estate? How about his plane or something like that? No, it's not. Now we're actually going to move on to Tony Robbins here. I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger here. So, do you think that any of these, or which one, I should say, is his best investment? Now, I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger here. We're going to talk about Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins, I mentioned him already, motivational speaker, does seminars, courses on stocks, real estate, owns a bunch of those, owns a bunch of real estate. So what do you think it is for him? Stocks? Real estate? What else do I have here? Oh yeah, obviously, Jesus, he's one of the most popular authors in the world, ever. Books. Owns lots of all of those. Made lots of money from all those. Which one do you think made him the most money? If it's any of those. What do you guys think? All right. We're going to move on to the Warren Buffett. Which one do you think has made him the most money? Out of Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, Wells Fargo, real estate, other. And, because I've kind of been saying it, the answer is other. And what do you guys think is the best investment? He has said this multiple times in written publications. Which do you think is his best investment ever? This is Dale Carnegie Speaking Institute. So when he was a young man, before he ever started his own company, this is when he only had, $9,000. He took a course, the Dale Carnegie public speaking course at Dale Carnegie Speaking Institute. I think that's or Dale Carnegie Institute. I forget what it's called. So why would he say that's his best investment? Something that I had to learn too. I'll explain why and how it relates to him building a multi-billion-dollar company. Developing his communication skill was the most important thing he ever did in his life. I'll give you a quote from him. This has to just do with, because the Dale Carnegie, the course that he took was more about communication, public speaking. It also taught him how much skills are important in most people's lives. So he said, there's no financial investment that'll ever match it. Because if you do develop more skill, more ability, more insight, more capacity, that's what's going to really provide economic freedom. It's those skill sets that really make that happen. Interesting, right? And so how did this apply to him? How did taking this course on speaking and communication and developing skills, why is that his most valuable thing ever? Here's what I looked up. He took that course before he started his company. Within 5 years, he had 18 partners for his business. So he only had, at the time, he said he had $100,000. $127,000, I think was the exact number, $109,000. And he wanted to start his own investment firm. $100,000 would have been okay for him to do personally, but he said $1 million would have been where he wanted to hit. So he got 17 partners. 17 people were required for him to start his investment firm. He ended up owning 30% of the company, I think, which would end up becoming Berkshire Hathaway. But he raised $10,000 to $100,000 from doctors. I think Charlie Munger was his own private partner in that too. I don't know how much they contributed, if there was any financial thing there. But he said that he went up to mostly doctors and lawyers and said, give me $10,000, I'll show you a return on investment. And he couldn't have done that without this, the Dale Carnegie speaking course that he took. And think about that for a second. Without him taking that course, without him learning how to communicate with other people, he wouldn't be the multi-billionaire that he is today. So here's actually something which is, how could this apply to you? How could it help you develop your own speaking skills? Well, go and Google my old channel called Jacksci, J-A-C-K-S-C-I, and go back to my first video. The first video was probably about 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, and this is how I'm going to tell you how I talked. I talk like this. So this is the Hulk, and he's really cool, and this is the Thor god, and I talked about Marvel stuff. So it's like, oh, this is the comic book, and this is this, and this is this stat, and that's about it. And I could not talk. I could not talk the way I do now, like this. Voice goes up and down. I couldn't communicate with you guys properly. And you can start your own YouTube channel, and if anything, if it doesn't make you any money, it'll help develop your personal communication skills, if anything. That's what it did for me. Now, it's also made me a lot of money too, but it's seriously, this communication thing, that's the biggest thing for me starting a YouTube channel, me developing my ability to speak to other people and communicate. So that was Warren Buffett's best investment ever, just taking a course on speaking. That's something that you guys should think about. Maybe just start a YouTube channel, record yourself talking for an hour, and try to improve on that every single day. I have a course coming out teaching you how to kind of do that on YouTube, but that's entirely separate. It's not even out yet, so don't worry about it. We are going to move on to Tony Robbins. Now, it's a trick answer too. It's not stocks, it's not real estate, it's not his books, it's not even his seminars, really. For Tony Robbins, he said that he took it was $35, and he went to a 3-hour seminar where Jim Rohn, the sales trainer guy, he's still around. I don't know if he's still around. I'm not sure if he's passed or not. But it was $35, so this was decades ago, and it taught him the exact same thing as to what the Dale Carnegie Institute taught Warren Buffett. Communication skills, developing a way to connect with people. That's interesting, right? They both said that. It wasn't any financial investment. It was communication skills and the ability to learn, I guess, is the other thing. I think Warren Buffett says that if you could have any superpower, it would be the ability to read faster than anyone else in the history of time, read 1 page a second. Because he can develop skills that way. He can learn more, faster, be more efficient with his time. And so that's what these courses taught them, is communication, how to develop skills, how to learn, all that kind of stuff. And that's been worth more to them than any single one financial asset or investment that they've had. Now, saying that, obviously they gained all their money from starting those companies, from becoming a motivational speaker over here, from becoming an investment firm over here. But they couldn't have done that. I mean, imagine if Tony Robbins didn't have any communication skills and went into motivational speaking. Oh, that would be funny. Imagine, it would be like some awkward kid going up there. Tony Robbins is tall, he's like 6'8". Like, he's probably like, what, 250, 260? He's a big guy, right? And in shape too. So he'd just be up there, he'd be this big, imposing figure, and he would just go up there, so shy. And he's just like, guys, you gotta fix your lives. You really gotta fix your lives. And you gotta get a hold of your lives. Imagine if he went up there and said that stuff. No, he's up there, he's yelling at people, he's saying, fuck you. He actually says that in his seminars. Go watch his Netflix thing. He swears at people. He's just like, yeah, you have a fucking ugly shirt. That's what he says. And he goes up there, he excites people, opens their mind about certain concepts that they haven't thought of before. So that's, seriously, the two best investments they ever made were, or the best investment they ever made was communication. So what do you guys think about that? Do you guys agree with that? I always talk about investing in yourself, and I remember that was a load of bullcrap when I thought it was like a bunch of, bullcrap, I guess, when I was a teenager too. When I was 14, 15, I was like, you're going to these seminars? What are they teaching you? Like, these seminars are like $50 to $3,000. Are they giving you that much information back? Sometimes. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It depends if you're open-minded, if you take action. That's the biggest thing. If they give you this information, this motivation, whatever, and you go home and just return to your normal life, it's not going to help. These seminars, these investing in yourself. But, the biggest ones for me, like I always talk about, Grant Cardone, I do not agree with everything he says. I do not agree with a lot of stuff he says. But the one thing that he did do was he got me motivated, one, and he opened my mind about increasing my income, which was, I always talk about, there's the three turning points. Getting dumped when I was sick in the hospital. 2, listening to that Grant Cardone podcast. It was just a random one. I'd been listening to him for a few months. He just said, you know what, if you can't afford to invest in real estate, make more money. I know it's something so simple, but that was what I needed to wake up. Just hearing that one thing, and then that opened my mind. I got into real estate agent, got another corporate job. Ball started rolling again. And yeah, the third thing was not being able to pay for hockey tickets, which was the thing that actually launched my own personal company, my real estate and investing company, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, why I just went on a big tangent there. Yeah, so do you guys agree with this? I didn't when I was young. I do now, but saying that there's a lot of kind of sketchy, scammy kind of people out there. Like I think I made that video on Kriya Tyler. He was trying to get people, young 14-year-olds, to pay $300 a month for a membership for be a part of a club that didn't really offer a lot of content. I don't know, actually. I did look into it, but I'm not a part of it. And then there's the people that just don't explain everything, like Ty Lopez. He has a lot of good content, but he didn't explain that you have to pay $47 or $67 a month or whatever it is. He has a lot of content, though. I will say that. A lot of good content on his programs that he's offered and his whatever seminars, his talks. But it just depends. You have to be open and honest with about everything. So, large tangent there. This video is way too long, a lot longer than I expected. I'd just like to thank you very much for watching. Yeah, you're all very beautiful people. Leave a comment, question, tweet at me at Jack Chapple Sci. I try to answer your questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.